music going. Dial it in. Welcome back to your future hand. My name is JBiggs. It is February 2nd, 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We're going to get into the market scope. Things looking relatively the same as they have been for the last 9 weeks, despite all the FUD and all the sales and all the nonsense. But there's actually some serious nonsense going on as far as global events goes. I think the Strike One, is that what it was called? Was approved on I don't know, a retaliation on Iran. What else is going on? It's crazy. Crazy things in the world, but Bitcoin is absorbing it. Evergrande, so the second largest property company in Asia, tanking. I think it was like 20% this week. And we're seeing some impact of that in the UK and the US, I believe, as far as real estate would go. I can only imagine that it would cascade a little bit into our economy. Not that ours was doing very great anyway as far as real estate went in Canada. FTX hack. So FTX also liquidating some of their assets, which is, this is good. So we're sorting that out. But, Bitcoin obviously not too affected by what's going on here. BlackRock and ProShares Bitcoin ETF surpassed GPT's daily volumes. So that means that BlackRock and ProShares are buying more than GBTC is selling. Like I told you, this was not a buy the rumor, sell the news event. It's a buy the rumor, buy the news event. These suckers are buying it up every day still. Yeah. So that's, like I said, war in the news, massive FUD as far as commercial real estate goes. And GPTC still dumping Bitcoin, but Bitcoin still holding strong, still playing the same range that it has for the last 9 weeks. And again, now we're looking at the weekly chart here and the weekly RSI, trying to get back above 70% for, hopefully another little move, trade a little bit sideways here in this range, right? And, everyone thinks it's just going to dump down, but you can see we can trade sideways between the 50 and 60 for some time. You can see we traded sideways. I was going to say spend some time between the 40 and 50, but a little bit. But doesn't mean we're going to dump right away. So pause in rates, and maybe some repricing with them, extending the amount of rate pauses there will be in 2024. It slowed down this jump. So we didn't get the jump immediately over this 43.8 resistance that we've been seeing for the last 9-10 weeks. But I'm looking for that today or this week. I'm looking for that on this weekly close, but today is going to be a big tell. So what's going on? What's going on in the S&P 500? And it's just still continuing to smash new highs. Like, man almighty. And it's funny. I was in Gary Cardone's space last night, and he asked me, who's they? Because I said they. As far as moving the price goes. But, this isn't just a couple of traders making candles like this, right? This is massive money pushing markets. This is an accumulation of wealth coming together to move markets. So the proverbial they is market makers. Why wouldn't clubs of people with mass amounts of money work together to benefit their team, right? They're just playing with bigger numbers, right? And I know Gary Cardone's got a lot of money, but we're talking about people with a lot more money than him working together in pools, moving these markets like this. So crazy moves in the S&P since their drop to the 50% fib. And we've held our level. We fell to 4,100. We actually fell to 38.5, but S&P fell to 4,100 here, the 50% fib of the 2022 bear trend. And recovered and it smashed its all-time high, continuing to move. And we know when the money's flowing into the S&P 500, it's generally not flowing into Bitcoin or Ethereum, which we're seeing, right? So whose turn is it? Basically, right now it's the S&P's turn. And right after the ETFs launched, it was Ethereum's turn. They got some money, but you got to remember that they're also trading. They're the way they stack wealth is by removing it from this market, right? So they're playing you for their value, and that's why we see them, like I think Ethereum retraced all of what it gave to the people there. Yeah, pretty much. In that move, I mean, we were down here a little bit, I guess. So it's held some of that. I think it was around 2,100 at that time, beginning of the month. Market cap of crypto back up. Back up is the overall market cap. The fear and greed index is still neutral. And that's all good. Let's see. So, oh man, why am I getting cookies? It's like my VPN isn't working. But it is. I don't know. I don't know. Stale day for the market, but we're gonna watch the S&P probably close the day high. I mean, it's 9 a.m. here, so we're talking noon over there. So they got another hour left of trading. I guess, what do they got left? Let's have a look at their high. I can't even believe that. That's crazy. I didn't expect that. I really didn't expect them to recover that so quickly. Maybe I was hopeful that the money would have been more so into Bitcoin. But you got to remember, it still has been a massive inflow into Bitcoin. And these ETFs have accumulated now 3.8% of the max supply of Bitcoin. And Michael Saylor personally owns 1% himself. So 4.8% in the last couple of years of the max supply of Bitcoin have been consumed by billionaire entities as well as one individual in his company. And that's crazy. And then about 13% is lost in the ether. So we're talking, 18 to 20% potentially gone already, right? That's crazy. So, having a Bitcoin or more is going to be pretty rare. Crazy. It's crazy. But let's dive in to the lower time frames for the degens. 43.2, still healthy. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. What's going on in the 4-hour RSI? Tried to cup and handle here. But again, trading sideways between the 40 and the 50 and trying to make a new high on this 4-hour candle. 3 hours left. So lots of time in today, and the S&P pumping to new all-time highs again today, just smashing all-time highs. And the 4-hour RSI looking really healthy over there as well. So they're likely to keep pumping to close their day out, which will be in the next hour or so. And then I'd expect some volatility in the Bitcoin price just after that generally. So you can see we had some volatility already this morning with a bounce down to 42.5 again. Been loving the 500 levels for support. And we're looking to close the week over 43.8. So weekly close on the S&P being Fridays, and then Bitcoin's market never closes, so ours coming on Sunday. But maybe we get a pump today. Maybe after they finish dumping all the money into the S&P, we get a little pump in Bitcoin. But it looks good to me, even though there's a lot of fear in the market. Lots of fear in the market, but things keep moving up. So try to stay positive. Dollar cost average into Bitcoin. That is the key. DCA, if you had DCA'd over the last couple of years, you're in really juicy profits. Even if you bought the $69,000 top for your first day, you're in juicy profits. We will keep you updated. Maybe I'll come for a stream later on. If we get a pump above that 43.8 level with a 4-hour close or two over, that. Might come back for a stream this weekend, maybe. If not, we are probably looking at a longer cool-off period. But historical stats are on our side for February, so we'll keep you posted. Hang in there, and I will catch you in the next one. Biggs out.